Welcome, ambitious African, to another episode of your favorite podcast, the Ambitious Africans podcast. Now, it's been quite a minute, I know, and I'm sorry, but I really have missed our conversations. And today, I really want to talk about the economic situation happening right now and how you can protect yourself, your business, and sort of be proactive in responding to everything that's happening externally. If you're interested in today's episode, it's going to be a quick, short, sweet one. So just let's go inside already.
Dear ambitious African, this is your host, Secho. In this podcast, we will discuss everything about our journeys and experiences towards achieving our goals for life and work as phenomenal change leaders in our varied communities. We will feature other ambitious Africans crushing it through arts, social activism, tech innovations, entrepreneurship, and positive lifestyle and holistic well-being. We are the generation that is redefining Africa as we know it, and as an ambitious African, now is the time to get involved. Give us your feedback and ideas for our next podcast, and let's keep the conversations going. See you inside.
Now, the world is sort of now feeling the ache and pain from the COVID pandemic. A lot of things have also happened. As I record this, there has been the Russian-Ukrainian war that's still ongoing. There have also been inflation of various products and services based on the war and other factors. It has become a global consideration that perhaps some countries would declare going into a recession of their economies, and that's still yet to be confirmed. However, the statistics are not really looking good, and inflation has already gone over 8%, and with previous precedents, once inflation goes beyond 8%, 8 to 10% in a particular time frame, you might want to declare a recession. But things are a bit different in this case. And so, yes, like I mentioned earlier, the various leaderships of various economies around the world are still monitoring the situation, try as much as possible to mitigate the impact on their people and other stakeholders until it's really time to call that. But it's not really a gloomy situation if you are an ambitious African or if you are somebody who sees opportunities where people see lack. And this episode is strategically for you if you're one of those people. If you're one of those people who have sort of given up hope and sort of going with the flow and trying as much as possible to manage your money and live your life in independence of what happens externally, with all due respect and with all due empathy, this might not be for you. This episode is actually for people who want to take a look back and say, okay, right now I'm working with a very tight budget. How do I expand that budget? Or how do I increase my income streams so I don't have to squeeze myself within this budget? And it is also for anyone, or if also for you, if you're one of those who have tinkered with the idea of starting a side hustle or a business on an income stream, and more it's becoming more obvious to you, you really need to start it, and so you do not really know how to begin. This episode might sort of give you some ideas to get started. But combining both, we just want to find ways that we can survive the economic situation that's happening and go beyond that into thriving in this economy. Because mind you, whether there's a recession or not, people are still making purchases, people are still investing, people are still parting with money. And who says that can't be your case when you position yourself well? Who said so? Now I'm going to literally share 2 points in this episode, particularly because I sort of want to dig deeper into what this could mean for you. Now, I already mentioned that do not be one who follows the bandwagon in despair, but be that one person who proactively looks at all the things that's happening and look for opportunities. And so the first point I want you to think about as we are going into today's discussion is to consider exploring opportunities around you and within yourself. Now, this is where, if you've always thought of the concept of, starting a side business or starting an income stream, it's becoming more and more obvious for you, like I mentioned earlier, then it means that you might have to really do the hardcore work of exploring the opportunities around you and within yourself to solve those challenges that you see. Now, I intentionally call them opportunities and not problems because they are for you an opportunity to serve other people and to support other people who might also be having similar challenges within the same economic situation. And so at this point, if you're trying to protect the small money you have or invest it in a very sensible way that can reap good results, one of the things you might want to do is just start that side hustle. Now, it would be very irresponsible of myself to tell you, oh, just start that side hustle. Like those Instagram posts that you see that, oh, just go for it, feel the fear and do it anyway, which is actually true, by the way. But I want you to strategically position yourself into starting an online business that would not require a lot of capital to get started. And it is very important you consider an online business that does not require a lot of capital because obviously it's self-explanatory in a way. You do not require a lot of capital. And so the little money you might have, either from your salary or from some savings you might have, can be saved for something else in terms of investment or just as an emergency fund. So you might want to start an online business. Now, when we're talking about online businesses, there's so many things you can do online these days. And I know you have considered it. I know you have researched it. So the one that really falls in line with something you're comfortable about, something you're confident about, and something you're very passionate about, then you should, by all means, start it. You want to start it in the smallest form possible. You want to start by, for example, just creating a poster of it. And this is my number one hack of starting any small business or any side business. I create a poster around it, about it, selling as if it existed, and you worked it backwards using questions that interested buyers have to sort of design and flesh out the solution. So you can teach a skill you already have. You can sell products online. You can refer people for a commission to a business. There's so many things you can do out there, and I'm sure you've already done your research. But this is really your cue to start an online business today. Now, if you start an online business today, it actually shields you from all the inflation wahala that you're going to get. And it also goes as a second reason to why you do not want to start a business that would require a lot of capital. If you have any businesses that's a product based or product based, and so you might need capital to purchase and resell and things like that, very soon inflation is going to affect those prices, and that might not make you very competitive in terms of your product offerings. And so you might want to really look into the service sector, but with online platforms that you can do from anywhere in the world. So that's my first point in protecting yourself or guarding yourself or exploring ways actually that you can thrive in this economic situation. Now, the second thing that you might want to do as you're exploring how to protect yourself, your finances, and how to make the best of decisions financially in this economic situation is to really get started with investment. Right now is a perfect time to invest in anything at this point. So yes, you might want your own form of investment might be the online business like we discussed earlier, but then you might also want to explore some of the various investment platforms out there. Find a legit one and start investing the small money you have. Chances are a lot of these stocks, for example, if you're investing in stocks, have really reduced their per share price, and so you can buy it cheap. And when you hold on to it long enough, especially as a quote unquote recession lifts itself up, you would have made some good margins on it. I know you already know you have to invest, but this is the time you critically need to start doing it if you haven't started. Now, there are different platforms out there, like I mentioned. Explore those examples or various options out there. Do your due diligence and trade in safe portfolios. There are stocks you can buy. There are ETFs. There are, you can also invest in gold. If you're not a risk taker, you don't want to go into the Bitcoins and all the blockchain business, quote unquote. But you really need to start investing now, because now is the cheapest. And the side tip I have to this is, it's actually not like I don't know if it's a permitted tip, but because you are here on this podcast, I'm going to tell you, don't tell anybody. The next tip, or the bonus tip I want to give you, is consider converting all your money, your local currency, to another currency, say dollars or euros. Those currencies are sort of the benchmark currencies for a lot of transactions that happen globally in import, export, and other forms of transactions. And so that is the pegged amount. Around this time, it's going to be quite expensive because inflation has happened. But this would be a good time to also try and convert all your money, or as much as you have, into dollars, so that you lock in that value and you lock it against inflation, or rather, when inflation happens in your local currency, it actually turns out for your good. You might want to speak to a few bankers, about the idea. And it's not necessarily to hoard dollars, but it's just to keep some dollars, so that your money is guarded in some shape or form. So if you found today's episode very, 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 very enlightening, I want you to send me a 5-star ratings on the app you are listening to, especially if the app you are listening to this podcast has the feature to give us a rating. Give us 5-star rating, not anything less. You've been listening to this podcast for the longest time and you have not given us any ratings, or you've not even messaged me to tell me that I listened to XYZ and really helped my life. Now is the time to do it, because that is your own way of helping me survive in this economic situation. I'll see you in the next one. Be safe, take good care of yourself, and manage your money wisely. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.